I want to start this video off by saying this is not for everyone. This video is not going to be very helpful for the majority of people who are just interested in fitness, who just want to get abs. But this video is going to be the most valuable video for a very specific type of person with specific struggles similar to the struggles I used to go through. Essentially, I'm sending this video back to the former version of myself to solve all of his problems and accelerate his progress and have him seeing more progress in the next 2 to 3 months than he's ever seen in his entire life. And if this video is for you, if you're the specific type of person who this video is intended for, you can expect to see the same. Expect to see the most amount of progress you've seen in your entire life take place in the next 2 to 3 months. If you are the specific type of person, this is your golden moment. This is your light bulb moment, your epiphany. This video will change your life. So let's get into it. What's up, guys? So just some backstory on me before we get into what this video is really about, what you're really here to see. So as you can see on the left, this was what I used to look like. And on the right, this was my goal, right? I was skinny fat. I was undefined. I was insecure. I was unconfident. I hated the way I looked. I hated it. And just for some more perspective, I was 5'11", 175 pounds. This is what I consider to be my starting point of my fitness journey. It was like back in 2021. And this picture was a little bit, maybe like a month into my journey, but I just didn't take any pictures at the very start because I just didn't believe I would finally stick to it and finally get in shape. But I did. And the goal was me on the right? Obviously, this physique wasn't the goal I was specifically envisioning. I had no clue what my actual muscular body would look like, my muscular frame would look like. But overall, I just wanted abs. I wanted ab veins. I wanted just overall muscle definition. I wanted more muscle, just a bit more muscle, nothing like huge. I just wanted to be very lean, and I felt like that would make me confident, like a lean, chiseled jawline, like that sort of thing. Okay, so let's understand that this was my starting point, me on the left, and my plan to get shredded was these five things. I was just like, okay, I just need to lose weight. Be, to do that, I'm gonna do cardio. I'm gonna eat healthier. I'm gonna tone my muscles, and I'm just gonna work hard. That's my plan, and let's see what happens. 3 months in, I lose 25 pounds, but guess what? I look exactly the same. Let that sink in. Exactly the same 3 months into working hard, eating healthier, doing a ton of cardio. I look the same. 25 pounds down. And like this visual representation depicts, it felt like I hit a wall, a brick wall, where, yes, I thought I would get to my goal just by losing weight. I thought my goal physique was just under the fat. I thought, yeah, I'll lose 25 pounds and dude, I'm going to look ripped. I'm going to be lean. I'm going to have my aesthetic physique. And 3 months in, dude, I'm 150 pounds and I look exactly the same, but the goal hasn't changed. So it's like, what do I do? At this point, I'm like, shoot, I'm like scared, honestly, because I'm like, shoot, did I lose all my muscle? Do I have to gain weight, start eating more food again? No, that's gonna make me fat. I was genuinely stressing like every single day, didn't know what to do. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like stick to the plan and maybe something will work out. Maybe I'll get the definition. It never happened. It never happened. So while I was in this skinny fat place, I was like, okay, let's ramp it up. Let's eat less calories. Let's do more cardio. Let's just work harder. Maybe we're being lazy, right? That's a big problem I dealt with. I was confusing the effort with the results. I was like, I don't have the results yet, so I must just be lazy. When in reality, I was putting in more effort than I needed to. I was just lacking the right plan. Okay, so as you can see in this next slide, I broke through the barrier. I broke through this wall that I kept on hitting. And guys, I don't want to make it seem like I'm perfect, right? If we go back to this slide, it's not like I was just Rocky Balboa in my cutscene, working hard every single day and I just couldn't get to my goal. Like I said, I was putting enough effort if I had the right plan, but I would slip up. I would have days where I'd be like, oh, what's the point? I'm not seeing the progress anyways. Let me eat this whole pizza. Let me, do this, right? It was discouraging because I wasn't seeing the results. And it was kind of like this bad spiral where It was like this self-sabotage spiral. I wouldn't see the results, so I would eat the bad food. I would give in to my temptations. I would skip the gym, and then that would make me see even worse progress. And it was just this negative state I was in. So I was working hard enough to see the results, but it wasn't like I was perfect. But I broke through the wall. And you guys might be pretty shocked by seeing this picture. Wait a minute, you broke through this wall and you're the same weight just 3 months later, yet you're looking significantly leaner and significantly more muscular? Yes. These pictures were 3 months apart. September 2021, I was 150 pounds skinny fat. December 2021, I was 150 pounds, 11% body fat with maybe an extra, I don't know, 10 pounds of muscle. So, how on earth did this happen? What changed? Well, let's have a better understanding of what was happening. As you can see, me on the far left, that's my starting point. As you can see, I'm in my journey. I'm working hard, right? To go up this hill, it's hard. It takes a lot of effort, which is, I lose the weight, but I'm at this point, and I break through this wall in order to get this lean physique, and then at this point, it's just I just keep doing the same thing. And then on the far right, you have me now. Like I took this picture a few months ago, but I look the same as I did a few months ago. Right? I'm lean. I'm like 25 pounds heavier. But besides the point, you guys want to know how I went from September 2021 to December 2021. And I don't think this wall with a hole in it is a good visual representation about what changed. It's more like a safe. It's more like I cracked a code rather than worked harder, right? Because you see this hole in the brick wall and you're like, "Oh, he just went harder." But that's not reality. I just worked smarter. Now, I still was working hard, but I was working smarter. And that's what cracked the code. That's what opened the vault for me where I got this lean physique and at that point I was like I just keep doing this and then I'm just going to keep getting more muscular, more aesthetic, more leaner, everything like that. So what changed? What changed from September to December that allowed me to make this transformation happen? Three things: diet, training, and mindset. Let's get into it. How did the diet change? Before I made this transformation, this 3 month transformation. Obviously, I've had a transformation that was pretty significant when you zoom out, but this is like probably the most powerful transformation that took place from September to December 2021. So, what changed? First of all, with the diet, before I was focused on calorie deficit only, right? As you guys know, calories are the only thing that determines whether you gain weight or lose weight. If you eat in a calorie surplus, you gain weight. If you eat in a calorie deficit, which means you are burning, you're using more energy than you're eating per day. So your body's like, we need to make up for this deficit of energy. Let's take from our fat storages, right? So before I was solely focused on that, which was responsible for me losing the 25 pounds in the first place. But one of the problems was I was just eating the same foods I ate when I was fat, like before I even started. The ham and cheese sandwiches, the subs, the pastas, the cereals. Right? I was just eating the same foods. I was just eating less of them so I could stay in a calorie deficit. And fundamentally, I was lacking knowledge on macronutrient. This is a major typo. I look like an idiot, but macronutrient. And after the changes that were made that allowed me to make that transformation, I started prioritizing calories and macros equally. So what does that mean? You prioritize calories and macros equally? I'll tell you what it means. Instead of just thinking I need to stay in a calorie deficit every single day and that's going to get me to my goal, I thought staying in a calorie deficit, and if I only focused on that, I'm just going to keep losing weight. And by this point I understand losing weight is not the solution. So maybe if I prioritize macronutrients, specifically my protein intake and my fat intake to a certain extent, just to make sure my hormones and my testosterone is optimized. Maybe if I prioritize those while I'm staying in a calorie deficit so that I can burn a bit more body fat, because there was a little bit of body fat to shed. Maybe that's a solution. So I started prioritizing the protein intake. I was 150 pounds then. Maybe I pushed myself to get at least 100 grams. Right now, I get like 200 plus grams a day, but I was a beginner. I was still building these habits. So it was something around like 100, 120 grams of protein. Obviously, it would have been better if I got 150 or 170 grams a day, but at the time, I started prioritizing that. Started getting 50, 60 grams of fat a day just so my hormones are optimized to a certain extent. And the foods I was eating were goal based to make the process easier. So I wasn't eating the ham and cheese sandwiches anymore, the cereals, the foods that are terrible, that are just carbs, that are just high fat, low protein, high calories. That just makes it so much harder to stay in a calorie deficit and stay full and hit my protein goal. I started eating more goal based. I started eating more chicken, more lean meats, more beef, more steak. I started eating more eggs. I started eating more fruit, right? Obviously, fruit doesn't have protein, but it's really low in calories and it's really good at filling you up. All right, I started eating these things that made it easier for me to hit my diet goals per day. So that's the changes I made in the diet. And when it comes to calories specifically, how much I was eating, maybe I don't think I changed my calorie count. I think I was in both states, I was eating around 1,700 calories a day. The thing that really changed is that I started prioritizing macros as well, and protein specifically. So those are the changes. Now with training, what were the changes on that? Before, I was focused 80% on cardio, 20% on weights. I was under the impression that if I just lifted weights before I got lean, that I was going to get like one of these dudes who are just big and bulky, but they're like 25% body fat and they're not aesthetic. Because that wasn't my goal. I wanted to be shredded and lean, kind of have like a sleeper build. And so I was like, yeah, that cardio is the solution. And I'll lift a little bit of weights just to switch it up. Additionally, my weight routine was inconsistent, where maybe I was doing a new workout every single time I would go to the gym to lift weights. I would go on TikTok, I would see some random shredded dude showing his back day that gives you a great pump, and I would just do that. And then next week I would find a different person, a different person's workout. Right? So my workout routine was constantly changing. It was constantly random what I decided to do that day in the gym if I was lifting weights. When I was doing cardio, I was just playing basketball. I was just running on the treadmill, whatever. Another mistake I was making before was prioritizing volume instead of intensity. Where when I did start lifting weights a bit more consistently, I was like, yeah, the more volume I do, the more growth I'm going to get. No, there's a cap on how much volume you need as long as your intensity is there. So you really only need 8 to 12 sets a week to failure per muscle group. It's that simple. And you just need to train hard. Right? If you're doing more than that, you get diminishing returns, and to a certain extent, you're going to end up doing more than you need, overtraining and actually hurting yourself by doing more. So the changes I made were prioritizing 100% on lifting. No more prioritizing cardio. Now, this isn't to say I stopped doing cardio for months on end. I would still go play basketball with my friends, but it wasn't part of my routine essentially. Like, it wasn't like I'm going to go do this cardio so that I can get to my goal. It was just more of like a hobby type thing. And it still helps. It still burns a bit of calories, which can help. But the 100% of my priority was just on lifting weights and building muscle, giving my muscles a reason to grow by training hard. And I developed a consistent workout routine. And now, if you guys are beginners, you're like, well, I don't want to start a workout routine that I don't know is optimal, so I'm just gonna keep switching it up every day. No, just pick something and go with it and just run with it and just train to failure. If you're looking for some good advice when it comes to it, I like to pick a workout routine, like I said, that trains each muscle group 8 to 12 sets to failure per week in like a 6 to 8 rep range. Right? So just find a workout routine that goes in that. Let's say a workout routine does 3 sets of bench press twice a week. That's 6 sets. And on that same day you do 2 sets of chest flies. Okay, that's 5 sets each workout for your chest. That's 10 sets per week if you hit it twice a week. So that's right in the optimal range. And if you take each set to failure, that's an optimal workout routine for your chest. And you can kind of take the same logic for every other muscle group. And don't major in the minors and think like, which exercise is better than another exercise? Dude, you're skinny fat. any bit of muscle stimulation, you're going to see great results. And like I said at the bottom, training to failure with less focus on the volume. I already explained that though. And the mindset change that took place was before I was thinking, I'm just not working hard enough. My goal physique, it's under this stubborn fat, this last layer of fat. I hope this works. Right? I was under the impression that I had to hope for the results. I had to hope that the next day I would get leaner or I'd finally see my abs. That's not how the human body works. So the changes, so in hindsight, I understood that it's a formula, it's not magic. I don't have to hope for results. I just do the correct inputs that are proven to work and I see the results. It's a mathematical equation. How many calories are you eating? How much protein are you eating? How many fats are you eating? And how hard are you training in the gym and how many sets are you doing per week per muscle group? Right? Once you get those down, then it's a formula. You get the desired output. Another change I made was understanding that my goals are in the mailbox. I just have to grab them. So, what on earth does that mean? My goals aren't on a pedestal. My goals aren't better than me. My goals are just there. I just have to go grab them. Imagine that. Imagine if your goals were in the mailbox. You're like, my goals are in the mailbox. I just have to go grab them. I just have to do what's required. Just do the steps that are laid out for me. Do the correct inputs, and I'll just get them. Casual, right? And this is hard, especially like for me, I was always the fat dude, always unconfident. So it's hard to have that sort of mindset and to remove your goals from a pedestal, but they're not on a pedestal. Like I said, it's a formula, it's not magic. You're not below these results, it's a formula. And the third thing is understand that once I understand the formula, I never have to worry about my weight or body composition ever again. And that's one of the most beneficial things I learned from this journey. Like after I got to December 2021, I was like, dude, I just got lean. I went from really skinny fat or really like more on the fat side and then went to more on the skinny side, still skinny fat. And now I'm lean. Now I'm confident. Now I have more muscle. I just got to keep doing this and then I'll get to my results. And as you can see, I just continue doing the same thing. Obviously, I've learned about things in the meantime. I mean, this was December 2021. This is me October 2024. But it's the same stuff. It's the same concept. It's tracking my food. It's eating in a calorie deficit when I want to lose body fat. It's having really high protein. It's training to failure. It's getting good sleep. It's all these things. So guys, I want you to understand that if you're at this wall, it's not a wall that you break through with brute force. It's a safe that you crack with working with smart work. It's still going to be hard work, but it's smart work. If you lost this weight like I did, and you think I just need to lose more weight, my dream physique is under the remaining body fat. It's not. You're probably putting in enough effort if you've lost this weight so far. You just need the right game plan. Right? What got you from the bottom of the bell curve on the left to halfway up the bell curve on the left is not what's going to get you from the left side of the bell curve to the right side of the bell curve, right? So that's what I want to say to you guys. If you guys are still like lacking an understanding of this, or maybe you need some more specific advice that's implemented for you and your current situation and your struggles and whatnot, I'll put my call link in the description of this video. And all you have to do is you can pick a time in my schedule and book a call with me. Don't waste my time. It asks you a few questions. If you don't qualify for the questions, right, don't book a call with me, but you could just DM me on Instagram. But if you're like really serious about potentially like having a coach and like investing in yourself and really serious about making this happen, then yeah, book a call with me. We'll chat on the phone and we'll see if we can make this happen. Anyways, subscribe to the channel. I'll keep pumping out videos like this. This was a ton of value. This would have solved a lot of my problems back in the day. And yeah, I do 50 morning push-ups on Instagram every day. We're on day 220 today. If you want to follow along to the journey, follow my Instagram. I'll also put that in the description. 200K followers on there. We just hit it. I'm excited to see you guys there. All right, peace out.